What is going on, everybody?
So
We are live post the Monaco Grand Prix, and yeah, man, it was
it's interesting.
interesting race. Yeah, like the outcome is exactly what I expected it to be. Obviously that's why like qualifying is so important at Monaco. But man, if what should we call it? If the rain didn't throw a little bit of a
Simon,
hiccup in there,
I'll be falling asleep.
dude, the well, I mean that's kind of the deal with Monaco, right?
Yeah,
Like especially now with the new spec of the vehicles, that really you have to qualify well. Like there's no
yeah,
question about it, right? And assuming there are no unforced errors or anything like that, we kind of it becomes like an expected outcome. But the rain made my butt pucker a few times out
yeah,
there
yeah, yeah. I
today.
mean, it's we kind of know, or we kind of expect the Monaco to be like this, except the
Yeah,
rain.
yeah, yeah, definitely. You know. It was very interesting because uh, this was also our first opportunity to see Mercedes with the new upgrades out on the track. Now, we knew that this wasn't going to be super indicative of their performance based on the fact that it's Monaco. It's the current vehicles and the amount of space and so forth with Monaco definitely doesn't allow the cars to shine to their full potential.
Yeah,
But I still was not that impressed with what I saw, even from qualifying. You know,
I mean
and
they
then
do say that the upgrade is just beginning of reshaping the car. So it's
mhm,
not expecting to be a lot of performance gain because they basically scratch everything and then start from zero again with a brand new platform.
yeah, yeah,
But the real challenge will come in Barcelona because Barcelona it always has good race in Barcelona, and also
yeah,
it was usually winter testing track.
yeah,
So we'll see how it goes.
yeah. This is on some level. You're right. You know, but Hamilton also commented that he really needed to borderline like overdrive the car
He is
during
on the limit,
qualifying.
like
Yeah,
over the limit
yeah.
to
He
push
was
the
like
car.
right there going back and forth,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And again, this is why, like, I don't know. I don't think Monaco is a great indicator, of the potential. I
Right.
mean, they did do substantial changes, like side pods aside. That's the most visual part, but we all know that it's not like integral to the actual like aero. I mean, it is part of the aero package, but it's not as like integral as people want to believe. What it really has to do more with like the front suspension and the
Seating
way
position,
they yeah, the way they adjusted the new
the
the top linkages
yeah,
was really dramatic.
yeah.
The new sort of aero considerations around like the brake cooling in the rear, everything. It was you know, it
It's a big
was
change.
yeah,
It, because they have to consider the whole package, not just part of the car.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Right, exactly. Exactly. So it definitely isn't optimized yet, you know. So uh you know, fingers crossed though that by the next race they have a little bit more data and they can kind of like
I
tweak
mean,
it a little bit more,
that's kind of expected
What up,
Consider,
Elka?
hey, so consider the way they do things nowadays. That's kind of expected.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
And yeah, Barcelona is going to be. I predict Barcelona is going to be. We'll either see yes or no on the concept, because Barcelona, Spain Barcelona track on the last corner has been modified to the original high-speed corner, so that will actually see the performance of the car, see if it's gain or loss. And of course, after that, they will gather more information, more data, and then moving forward, and then coming up with the summer break or schedules.
It's I mean the benefit or the positive is to say that they're finally doing something. They have a concept to go forward with. The downside is that they're doing it in the middle of the season, but this kind of brings me back to our most recent video that we did in discussing of whether or not, Ferrari has come out and flat out denied that they are making an offer to
Hamilton.
But I don't know. That may or may not be true. They may just be like, hey, we don't want this to be in the public, until we're ready. Yeah. But I don't know, man. I love Mercedes. I'm a big supporter of the team. I always have been. But man, to not listen to Hamilton and to blunder it this big, to now we're a year and a half into this concept, and it's finally just starting to be resolved.
And it feels like 2021, 2022 in the beginning season of 2022, and then God knows where that concept is gonna go again.
Exactly, and that's really it for me, right? Like, man, how long are we gonna sit here and wait for them to, kind of resolve this new concept? And every year Hamilton is getting older, and I hate to say it, there's very few people that get sharper with age. You know what I mean? So
it's just
I don't know.
The reality. It's just the reality.
Yeah. Agreed. I mean, I don't know, guys. What do you think about, should Hamilton stick with Mercedes going forward, or is it time for him to consider alternative options if those alternative options mean that he can be more competitive? I hate to say it, but Mercedes kind of screwed him in this scenario.
He has been screwed for the past 2 years.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. That is a very fair criticism of the team, But I gotta say, the cars are still fairly competitive-ish,
Compared to Mercedes, of course.
Yeah. But at the same time, man, it's so funny and frustrating because, I love Alonso. You know that about me. I'm a big Alonso fan. I always have been, right? But dude, to see Aston using the Mercedes powertrain and to be cooperating with Mercedes, and for them, the dude's podiuming,
he's on podium today.
Yeah, exactly. Which is awesome. Again, as an Alonso fan, that's sick.
Even more news, more great news for Alonso.
Yeah.
Honda is coming back
Right.
to
Right.
do engine supply on Aston Martin,
Yeah.
and that kind of just stabbed Red Bull in the back.
A little bit. Yeah. Well, Red Bull wants to be all independent, you
Yeah,
know?
and actually Horner was saying if they know Honda is coming back, they will not even think about creating a power units division.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I don't know. It's like, it's tough, man. It's really tough. Like, I agree that out of like some degree of loyalty and honor, Hamilton will probably end up staying with Mercedes. But like a portion of me thinks that that's going to screw his opportunities for getting his eighth championship. You know,
Yeah.
honestly, dude. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Anytime Horner sounds really worried is like music to my ears, man. Screw that guy. That guy is
Horner can be,
huge.
he can just go be his race director. He's kind of he feels like a race director to me in 2021.
Yeah, dude. Man, I don't know, you guys. I have a special amount of hatred just for Christian Horner, and I don't know what it is, but man, I want to just. That guy looks like he needed to get punched in the mouth like throughout his life, and it never happened, you know. And somebody just needs to like walk up to him in the paddock and just whoop-ah, like just right in the mouth, just one time, you know, and just be like, dude, a little bit less this, you know, just you know.
Yeah, we all don't like Red Bull, except Checo.
Yeah, well, dude, even here's the thing. I'll be 100% honest. Like, Verstappen is definitely gaining a bit of my respect for just how he's been comporting
Driving.
himself like this year. But then again, we haven't had to see him go up against anybody for the most
He's
part.
usually just cruising in the front.
It's
11
true,
seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds.
but let's be real. Like, he's still been managing the car very well. You know, he's still been keeping himself composed. When he does get into situations where he's low on the grid, he's managed the car exceedingly well and brought it up through the positions to again still finish in first.
Yeah.
You know, so to his credit, he has been driving phenomenally. You know, uh, I still don't like his personality. I still don't like his character. You know, but as far as like technical driving ability, he has been on it this year. You know, and I would love to see the 2023 Red Bull versus the 2021 Black Mercedes. You know, with Hamilton. Like that to me would be an amazing showdown, honestly.
For me, I mean, I'm a Hamilton fan, but
Yeah.
the way he drive today in 2023 with the way he composed himself, I think Hamilton is gonna have a tough fight, even without race director.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, for me, yes, this is, by the way, Stephen Gibbs, this is absolutely true. Horner is the definition of cheating and getting away with it. I think
Yep.
if you actually looked in the dictionary, you would see that. If Horner,
Meaning cheat
adjective, yeah,
in a way.
cheating and getting away with it, 100% true, right? But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you took out like Horner and the Red Bull team's manipulation, and you just put driver versus driver in their best cars. I think that would be like a crazy race. I'd love to see the statistics on that.
Yeah, that would
you
be,
know?
but it's never gonna happen.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, dude, Checo, for lack of a better way of putting it, he shit the bed for Monaco, man. Like, really. I wonder how much Helmut Marko and the team kind of like put undue pressure on the guy. Honestly,
I'm pretty sure he put a lot of pressure on Checo, especially Checo, and then I think he would not put pressure on Max because Max is his big son.
Yeah, basically.
And anybody who is getting to Max's way, Checo is gonna fire back. Or not Checo, Helmut Marko is gonna fire back.
Yeah,
that's just how Helmut Marko is.
Yeah, 100%. Dude, I wonder about this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because Gunther and Zach both seem like really, really good dudes, but I wonder if they have the ruthlessness that it really takes to be at the pinnacle of F1. Here's the thing. For as dastardly and a son of a bitch that Horner is, right? The guy also knows what's at stake, and he is like a backyard dog. You know, he's willing to, he's willing to kill, cheat, steal, whatever in order to get the win. And like on some level, you know, when you pare down all of the sort of the formalities, that's kind of the attitude you need. I hate to say it. It's just that we don't like it, we don't respect it, but at the same time, like, if you want to be at the top, like, you kind of have to have this attitude. It's you know,
you want to win, you have to give it all. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Absolutely. And yeah, Steven, I agree with you. It's so funny that when like Lewis showed up, and he doesn't do it with any other driver other than Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, except Lewis, except Hamilton.
You know, Leclerc, Sainz, you know, even Russell, he gives like, he'll open the way. He's like polite and congenial, especially on the track. But when it's Hamilton, oh man, he craps himself and he starts dirty driving. 110%.
But let's go back to that scenario. 2023 Max versus 2021.
Yeah, completely different people.
I think we're gonna see more crash with Max on Hamilton.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
And because he's just going to, like you guys are saying, he's gonna just shit himself in a pants.
Well, dude, look at that little tussle between George Russell and him, right? That was exactly the same sort of thing that he would do with Hamilton.
10 times worse.
On the outside, you know, he would claim that, oh, well, because I have my nose next to you, that I have every right to the corner, which you don't, you know. But, you know, Russell wasn't willing to take shit from the guy and ended up putting a hole in his side pod.
Yeah.
So, and the funny thing was, when they got into the altercation, you know, in the paddock afterwards, right? Verstappen was indignant and was even threatening Russell when Russell was like, "Well, dude, there wasn't enough room. You know, it was my corner."
This is where my problem comes with Max, right?
Yeah.
I respect him on the track. I respect everything that he do, except 2021, of course. But I respect everything that he do. But off the track, I don't respect him at all because he doesn't look like he is a driver that can handle himself off the track, on social
No.
media, on camera.
Oh
On the
no,
track, of
definitely
course,
not.
he has a fast car. Yeah, on the track, of course, he's fast, he's consistent, he's like a machine. But off the track, in order to be a good driver, in order to be a spotlight, on the spotlight, you are two-time world champion. Two-time world champion.
Yeah.
You
No,
need to
like
compose yourself. You need to calm yourself down. Just chill out. You know?
no, the guy has like no social skills, no
No,
ability to be anything
no, no,
other
no.
than like a competitor. And he
Yeah,
just thinks like every part of the racetrack is his. He is owed it because he is the great Max Verstappen, and that's it. And that's, I
yeah,
hate to say it, like when you look at Jos Verstappen, when you look at like again how he was raised and how he was kind of focused on this stuff like his whole life, it's not a surprise, right? Like he
yeah.
he is absolutely underdeveloped socially. Uh, so big whoop that he doesn't seem to be able to get along with other drivers, that he's a teammate killer, you know what I mean? Because it's the Max show. It's
See, like
absolutely the
he
Max show
actually
perpetually.
he get along with other driver except Mercedes driver. If you
Yes and no. Like he know he can be at least like basically social, but in
like basic
general though,
social, yeah,
yeah, like but if any of those other drivers really like got into a tussle with him, he would
he
revert
would
to
not
the
back down.
same kind of like rude
Yeah.
behavior, 100%. Yeah, Toto, by the way, El Cap, going back to what we were saying about Horner being like a ruthless dog. Yes, Toto absolutely has that ability too. He just is a little bit more like dog in a suit.
Yeah,
Is maybe the best way I can explain it.
yeah,
Toto's
yeah.
ruthless. Like, don't get it twisted. Toto is absolutely ruthless. You know, he just knows how to hide it better and how to be a little bit more within the
Post.
rules and
Yeah.
composed, like for sure. You know, let's see.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that in the chat. Yeah,
Yeah.
he wants to get a team order to let Hamilton to let pass
Hmm.
by in front of Hamilton because he feel like Hamilton is losing pace.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. I have mixed feelings about Russell. I really do. You know, but every time I say that, our UK friends and fans really just they don't like when I say anything negative about Russell. But it is what it is. So this is he's Hammer Time's talking about Verstappen.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
basically, you know, he does have, in my opinion, kind of a screwed up personality. But that's the thing, right? Like, I always wonder. Okay, like a lot of people judge people based on the kind of people that are their heroes, and I always wonder what Verstappen fans, what that means about the quality of people who are his fans. You know, like like I said, he's done really well this season, but it's again he hasn't had any like clashes
Real
with
computer.
anybody who's like super skilled.
Yeah.
Realistically speaking. So, but it's been shown that when he does have clashes with people who are super skilled, he reverts to being as dirty and ruthless as he possibly can be.
Kind of just throw all that like throw that away and then going back to his old max.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, El Cap. I saw the same
Yeah,
video. Right,
yeah,
he's always been kind of like hyper aggressive, always
yeah,
going for it. You know, and driver 61 video was a good kind of breakdown of his abilities and his kind of personality as a driver. Um, but the reality of it is like you can't go full max attack, no pun intended. You need to have more balance as like a driver and a character to really be one of the greats. you know
yeah,
Think about it more like less of like a shark and more like a cobra. A shark just full on, "Bwah, I'm gonna go for it all the time," whereas a cobra chooses the right time to strike. You know, and that's how I
for me
see the
that's
difference between him and Hamilton.
exactly.
Hamilton will sit and wait and hover and just keep eyeing you and looking for that right moment to strike.
Yeah, yeah,
Whereas Max doesn't have that discipline whatsoever,
yeah.
in my opinion. You know,
Like Hamilton, a lot of time Hamilton will give the opponent pressure, and then he just wait and see if he make mistake. If he make mistake, he will take it. If he don't, then he will fight another day, and then he will wait for the perfect opportunity to get
yeah,
past you. And for Max,
yeah,
he sees the gap, he will go.
right. Regardless of the
Comes in
situation,
regardless of yeah,
regardless if it's a good decision or not.
yeah,
You know,
he will just go for it, and either he succeed or he take both of the card, both driver out. That's just how
yeah.
he is.
Real quick, LCAP, bro. How can you be pro Ricardo, man? Ah, dude. Actually, my take on Ricardo is the first time I think we lost subscribers on the channel. But
Yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna state it again. The guy is a snake in sheep's clothing, dude, and not a good kind of snake like we were just talking about with Hamilton. The dude, he was with Red Bull with the best team possible, right? And by the way, just if you guys are hopping in right now, I'm talking about Ricardo, right? He was with the best team possible. He left because he was scared of playing second fiddle to Verstappen, which inevitably he would have, right? He then went to the engine supplier that was screwing them, i.e., Renault, right? And then he committed to this grand vision. Oh, Renault is going to be there in the next like 2 years, or 3 years. We're going to give you a championship, blah, 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 blah. He screwed them by leaving after 1 year to go to McLaren, right? Where he perpetually, on some level, shit the bed, and ended up not even schooling the young guy Norris on how to drive. Norris perpetually outdrove him, you
all
know.
season long.
Yeah, and he just the whole time wanted to be the center of attention. I mean, dude, the first 2 seasons of Drive to Survive could have been called the Daniel Ricciardo show, right? So like the guy was playing it from like the media angle and jumping from team to team, searching for like a freaking championship. And let's be real, with Verstappen and Hamilton out there on the grid, there was no chance of the guy even getting
Alonso on the grid
to.
too. Don't forget
Yeah,
Alonso.
there's no way he ever could have gotten into the championship fight. Like, let's be real. Yeah, like, dude, Ricardo is just one of the, in my opinion, the least likable characters in all of F1. he puts on this air of being like the fun, jovial guy. Hey, I'm gonna do a shoey, blah 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 blah. Deep down, he is a backstabbing snake, bro. Like honestly, like I'm sorry, I had to vent, but like Ricardo is such a snake, man. Like I can't stand the dude because he's always smiling and always so happy and like, oh, look at me, I'm the fun guy. No, dude, you backstab like everybody that you went with, and like you ran away from challenges every corner. Like, no, bro, you don't get a pass from me. I'm sorry. You know, like, he rubs me the wrong way for sure. Lando is excellent, actually. I really like Lando. I really want him to do well, you know.
Again, like we talked, I remember we talked in previous video. He's not there yet, in my opinion. He's not there as a championship contender yet.
Not yet, but dude, even just okay, right? Like I was talking with my buddy the other day. I was talking I was talking with CPM, right? And I was saying like there are some drivers. I mean, all of them want to be champions. Like there's no question, right? But there's also some guys who are like essential to the series, who also recognize that they may never become like ultimate champions, right? Or like multi-time champions. Valtteri Bottas is a great example of that, right? Excellent driver, super capable, but let's be real, like he has no chance of being like a multi-time champion, you know? Maybe he could sneak one in there if the stars aligned, right? My current feeling on Lando Norris is that he has the potential to be at least a one-time champion, if nothing else. But he is such a good figure for Formula One. He's a capable driver. He knows how to connect with the younger generation because he streams on Twitch. He's all over YouTube doing stuff with like people his age and younger. You know what I mean? And he brings just a savvy of like being part of like new media, along with, you know, just absolute driver skill, which he does have, you know, that, for example, like Verstappen could never match. Like Verstappen will never be the same kind of media savvy guy that Lando Norris is, you know.
He doesn't even want to be on camera when Netflix have Driver to Survive.
Dude, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly, 100%. One of the best.
Bottas is, for me, he's a wingman.
Yeah, he's a great wingman.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Like team players, but if it comes down to himself, there's no way he can get championship.
Dude, if you want my opinion on De Vries, Piastri, and Sargent, honestly, I'm still waiting to see that before I give my true assessment on their abilities and kind of perspective on their performance. I'm still a little on the fence.
I think it's still too early.
Yeah.
Because we are only 3 races or 4 races in with these rookies.
Yeah. No, 100%. I think it's we still need to see. I don't think it's kind of like Zoe. When he first came, his first season, you're just kind of like, all right, let's see where this guy kind of, where's his personality? Where does he fit into the grid? You know? And then by his second season, we could see the guy is a super competent driver, you know? and really is very disciplined, very like focused kind of guy, and he really brings something like unique. Whereas like first season, he's kind of like freshman year in
College.
university. You're a nobody. You know, you can come and go. Nobody really cares. So I'm waiting to see
But for
based
me,
on their performance.
for me,
you know,
in between those three, for me, Oscar Piastri is the most consistent driver so far,
mm-hmm.
and he actually in some occasions he will outperform Lando. Just very few moments that he will outperform him, but Oscar Piastri has. I feel like I mean, he's been in Formula One for quite some time now as a reserve driver. So, but again, I feel like the time is still too early to judge.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And dude, Hammer Time, I agree with you completely. Like Lando is definitely. I would love to see Lando, like assuming, let's say that Lewis has retired, Alonso has retired. Like Lando may be my next favorite guy to be like an F1 the one that I would hope would achieve that level, just because again, I like his personality, I like his focus, I like his drive. He seems like a really like cool character.
He doesn't have a lot of negative face.
No, God, no.
That side of him is not many negative side of him.
No,
as far as we know. So it's a great image for Formula One. Actually,
it is. Yeah, he is excellent in that regard. 100%. And yeah, Steven, do I think Mercedes needs to optimize their power unit for Barcelona? I've been saying this actually since the start of this season.
We have been saying this same thing, like optimize their power unit up to give them more power on the engines for the past 2 years.
Yeah. No, I mean, really, like it's been very evident to me that Mercedes has been running their engine too much on the reliability side of the equation. When like, dude, look at the I mean, I understand that it's not just down to the engine, it has to do with the whole aero package, and even the whole package of the vehicle, in the sense that like if your car doesn't have the downforce and the traction, if you feed it too much power, you're going to, overwhelm and spin the car anyways. But man, when you see that Aston Martin is using the same power unit, and they're literally, if Red Bull is here, Aston Martin is here, and you're here, there's a gap that you can make up, and I feel that Mercedes has just not been running their setup like optimized at all.
They are too conservative. I've been saying this so many times. They are too conservative on their German side.
Yeah,
personality. They need to actually take risk on racing and give power and just take risks like what Red Bull is doing. Like in the beginning of last season or 2021, they actually take risk, and then that ultimately gave them the win.
Yeah. No, and Hammer Time has it nailed here, right? Like they really, at the end of the day, they need to make up the majority of the time through their aero package. Like they're just not getting the downforce when they need it. They're not getting the balance out of the car when they need it in order to really like perform at a high level. The engine is part of the equation. There's no question, especially on the long straightaways. But yes, like let's just all admit the car is a mess, like realistically speaking. Let me rephrase. It's a mess in F1 terms, you know. So fingers crossed for Barcelona, we're going to see some improvement, you know, and really like the where I'm most curious is going to be the corners, high speed and low speed corner kind of stability and ability to put the power down. Um, so we'll see.
Yeah.
But kind of going back to our discussion about champions, Leclerc is good, but damn, he's inconsistent.
He's not. He's so inconsistent.
It's so funny because he like Verstappen was touted as like the great white hope for their respective teams, and it's so funny because Sainz has been outclassing Leclerc at every corner. You know, really, if I had to put money on who is the better Ferrari driver, it's Sainz. Like if I had to invest money in one of them, I would invest in Sainz.
Right.
All day.
Leclerc is inconsistent. Is him. Leclerc equal inconsistent. That's dictionary meaning.
Yeah, man. Dude, Hammer Time, from what I could see of the floor, it looks like the same floor that Mercedes has been running
for the past. Yeah, the floor is very similar.
Yeah, like I don't think they've made it like completely basic, but I do think that they've made it more whatchamacallit? They've kept it consistent so that they could use that as a baseline, you know, for where they should be going.
Like a lot of Mercedes upgrade right now, it's all the base starting point.
Yeah.
Further development of the car. And it feels like it's just you know, starting from beginning again.
Yeah. No, 100%. And that's the truth, right? Like that the Red Bull floor is just superior. Like there's no question. Like Adrian Newey absolutely knocked it out of the park. And it's the constant improvements also that they have available to them.
He actually has experience on the floor design, like
exactly.
What is that called? Ground effect back in 1970, because I think Lotus, the first Lotus is, I don't know if it's his design, but he has his hands on it. Lotus and also the early generation ground effect car, so he knows how to make ground effect car effective.
And just the technology that's available nowadays is just, you know, but exactly CPM. So what CPM is talking about here is we were talking about this the other night, that Hamilton really has like an ass of gold. I mean, if you think about it, like he has more sensors and more nerve endings in his ass than most other drivers do. Because the guy is just, I mean, you could insure his ass for millions of dollars. Because he knows how to drive the car better than most people do most of the time, even on the grid.
Well, I agree. I mean, man. Like for Hamilton, for me, Hamilton is not really a technical guy, but he just has a sense of the feeling of a car. He knows exactly where it goes wrong or it goes right, and then like the feeling around him.
Mm-hmm.
He say himself, he's not really a technical guy, but he actually feels the car.
Exactly.
He knows where the car can go and where he can push a limit.
Hence, #ass of gold. Right? Exactly. Just like that.
Yeah.
And no, Hammer Time. You're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong. And I think that that is a big differentiator in terms of their ability to keep up with Red Bull. I mean, Red Bull has just got like a phenomenal aero package in general, but in this new era, floor is everything.
Yeah.
It absolutely is. And you can clearly see the difference in absolute performance based on exactly what you're saying here, you know. So yeah, man, like I wish they weren't just working on the model. I wish they had somebody like Nui who knew how to sculpt and control the flow, you know. But it is what it is right now. We're working and depending on CAD a lot, you know. So, oh, yeah,
Yeah,
CAD.
we are tired. It's
Yeah,
night.
yeah. Both of us have been up since 6 o'clock in the morning on a freaking Sunday, guys. Being a Formula One fan on the West Coast definitely
Not
makes you
it
tired, you know.
costs you.
Yeah, dude, Peter Windsor is great.
Yeah, he's great. He's great.
Yeah. And it's funny, he doesn't like to push the car if it doesn't have what he wants, but he's still capable of doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you saw, uh, you know, the his performance during qualifying, is a perfect example of that, right? Because there were a lot of times where he wasn't trying to push the car too hard during qualifying for Monaco, but he was able to like pull it out when he needed to in order to get to Q3, you know. But man, like, yeah, he knows what it takes to be fast. He absolutely does, which is for me even more infuriating for why Mercedes, like, what justification did Mercedes have for not listening to him when they were developing the new zero pod concept?
It's still
Right.
it's still crazy to think that you guys have a 7-time world champion on the boat with you guys, and then you
Yeah.
are not listening to him. It's crazy just to think about. How
Yeah.
is that even logical?
Yeah, like it's just, I don't know. Let's see. When Lewis made that little mistake in FP3, I knew he was finally good in the car. This guy is also great. Yeah, dude. Exactly. Exactly. Ass of gold. Ass of gold.
Hamilton he will push the car if he have the confidence in the car.
Right, right. He obviously, what's smart about him is he knows how to push, but also save it because it is like a million, like, I don't know how many millions of dollars investment, you know? He's not going to be careless with it, you know?
And if you see him like on the limit, he's really fighting with the car, and it's great to see him fight with the car. To be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. So I don't know, man. I'm very curious to see where things go. If Hamilton will end up sticking with the team.
I'm very curious to see what the car can perform on an actual racetrack. Like,
yeah,
actual racetrack. That's where we will see performance gain or loss, and even Hamilton's ability to drive as fast as he can.
Yeah.
Trust the car.
Yeah, that's a big factor. There's no question.
He said he doesn't. The reason why he doesn't push is because he doesn't have. He's not confident with the car, braking, the downforce, and all that. But I don't know. We just have to see. Just wait and see next. I mean, it's not far. It's next week.
Yeah. So, on that note, guys, I think we're gonna wind it down now. We've been going for about an hour, but thank you guys for hopping in and chatting with us. We absolutely love all of your feedback. If you guys aren't already subscribed to us, hit the subscribe button below. We would absolutely appreciate it. We are trying to grow the channel, trying to get to 1,000. We're on the pathway to 1,000.
Crazy. Still haven't get 1,000, and then our subscribers, it's not growing for the past 6 months.
But no,
we still make content for you guys.
We appreciate you guys. We hope you guys enjoy this little post-race discussion with us. And yeah, man, we will try and catch you next week. So next week I will be out of town, but we'll see if I can swing doing the live immediately after the race. If we don't do the live, we will still do a video that will be like a post-race wrap-up. So one of the two, look for that next week. And yeah, guys, thank you for hopping in with us. We hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. All right.
And I'm gonna go sleep.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some coffee, and I'll probably sleep while drinking the coffee.
Yeah, me too.
All righty, guys. Peace.